There's a mini lesson in assembly of the armature. Once it's clean, I put it in without any shims just to get a baseline. And one thing you always try to do, and in the books they tell you, is to center the armature and the fields. So here you can see the armature and the fields are centered when I pull this out a little bit, but if I push it in so that now it's flush against the frame here, you can see that it's not on center. The other way of checking this is to put the back cap on, and you can do it with screws, is always better. But if you can look at the very back where the armature is resting against the back cap, if I move the wheel, I didn't bolt it down, which is probably a mistake, but if I can get my hand out of the way, if I move the wheel, you see now the travel that the armature has, so much travel, and what you then look at is lining the armatures up. You say, okay, well, if the fields are lined up, it should look like that, and what that tells you is I got to take that much space out. It's going to have to be almost like no slack there and then no slack there. But you can't have it too tight or it won't spin properly. So what I'm going to have to do is guess. I could put my dial indicator on and get all fancy, but I just don't have a lot of that equipment anymore. But what I can do is I do use my micrometer to measure the thickness of the shafts. And then I start with a base, and I started this base with 3, and I ended up having to take one away. So now what I'm going to do is a thin one and a thick one, as I call it. A thin and thick. Let's see what that measures. If I can do that somehow with one hand, that would be amazing. I don't know. Let's see. Can you do it with one hand? Yes. Don't ask. Where is it? There it is. Okay, there. I have the 2 in one hand. I'm up at the dial, and I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 should be about right, 4 thousandths of an inch. So I'm going to put these on and see what I get with my movement. You put them on. I'm not showing you anything here because I'm doing it with one hand and I can't, but you put the shims on the shaft that way. Okay, make sure they're all the way down. Then you load the shaft into the drive, and there is a thrust washer back there. Now what you want to do is look at it all the way back, push it in all the way, and try to determine its spacing. And as you can see, it's not bad. It's just a tiniest bit, tiny bit, like 1/2 a thousandths off. But if I do that, it's going to be over there. If I do that, it's over there. I'm going to try this. Let's put this back piece on, see what we get. There you can see the gap is considerably reduced, and if I put it any tighter, I would be almost line to line with my cap. So I don't think I can go any tighter. This spins freely. The wheels have a little bit of slack. I'm going to put it at that amount. I'm going to take it apart again. I'm going to saturate the end little fuzzy ball with oil. I'm going to put a little oil on the bushing, not a lot now, just a little, and then I'm going to attach it firmly. Then I'm going to put the wiring back on for the wherever that's laying, that's underneath here. I'm going to put the wiring on for the brushes, and then we're going to test it right here, just sitting right here. We're going to test it. A few minutes.